GeneQ review with our friend Patrick. What's going on, Grant?
What is going on, guys? How's everyone doing?
Whoa. Usually it's
what?
our best friend, Patrick.
Oh,
This time,
our best friend Patrick. I'm sorry. It's been a day. I feel like I've said friend before, but maybe I'll stick it here. It's best friend Patrick.
that's, fuck the ref, but that I'll die on this hill.
All right. Yeah, I'll report that to someone. I wanted to ask this earlier, but do you have a new cast on, Grant?
Yeah, I do.
Purple to yellow.
Is
Look, my
that
webcam
normal?
fixes.
I thought you just have
Just
the
hold it
cast
up.
on and then it comes off
Oh.
and then you're done.
Yep. Why'd you have to get a new cast?
it got wet. And they just recast it.
You mean you got your
You
cast
got it wet.
The moisture got into it. So,
Yeah, from the air.
yeah, it was
Was
been
you-
humid outside recently.
You shower. Do you have to like put a plastic bag on it when you shower?
It just stopped.
You stopped caring about your health.
I stopped putting a plastic bag on. So I didn't get water draining on it, but you're kind of in a hot, steamy shower and kind of got moist.
You're relaxed and you just doing some shampoo.
No, I didn't get water directly on it. It was like I'm just showering and I don't.
But how do
put
you
it
know?
in a bag. Doesn't
So
dry.
it gets wet.
And
And
then
then what
it's
happens?
gross.
Yeah, it's just kind of sticky, and you're it's like it doesn't dry.
So you go, hey, can we fix this?
Did you just go
Yeah.
back to the doctor or something?
Yeah, I wanted to see the doctor, but the person who casted my arm did not know what the hell she was doing. She had no idea. She started casting it up, and then she's like,
Huh.
"Oh," she's like, "How long was the previous cast? Did it go to here?" I was like, I think right here." And then she's like, "Oh, and who casted what?" I was like, "What last time? What did they do?" I was like, "Well, they actually set my arm. They cast it, and then they set my arm, and alarms went up in her head." She's like, "What?" Oh, and there's her colleague that was in the room when I walked in left, and the rest of the time she kept on looking wanting someone to come back into the room. She was just, and then she is trying to do this, and she's like, "Was it like this?" And then she's like, "Oh, Clarence," who was a doctor. He's like, "Clarence is here. Maybe we should have seen the doctor. I'm sure you probably could have seen him." And then she's going back to the thing, and then she's being frantic, and she's like, "Oh, don't tell anyone. I'm doing it like this." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So moral of the story, if your cast gets wet, just
Suck
air
it up.
dry it.
I tried to get a fan, but I probably could have just. I think I thought it was wetter than it was.
Just slow roast in the oven,
Yeah. Just go to the pool. Could you go to a tanning booth, tanning salon?
Yeah, just the arm.
Just the arm,
one
please.
arm. Yeah.
Well, at least
Imagine
it's a nice
a
yellow
cast
now.
tan. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I think because of how yellow it is, people who I don't even really see. So people in my Spanish class, and I started joining this cohort. People who I've talked to once or twice, "Oh, you got a new cast?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, dude.
I think it's because it's so bright yellow,
Did you get to pick your color?
Yeah, I mixed it up.
Say I want yellow.
If I did purple, I don't think anyone would have said
Nope.
anything.
You should have gotten.
I would have not.
You would have gone the
chocolate
same
and,
color?
a swirl. Could you ask for alternating tape, please?
Tie dye.
You could. When
Make
I
a
broke
stance.
my cast when I was younger, it was on my birthday, so it was in November, and he did a green, and then he did striped with red for Christmas.
Oh,
That was nice of him.
Yeah.
That was kind of
That's wonderful.
kind of nice.
Grant.
Wow, what a time of the year.
Yeah. Speaking of goddamn Christmas, Grant, what are we talking about today?
Speaking of Christmas, it's 420. What do you mean?
Yeah. Wrong holiday.
Today we are talking about It's a Wonderful Life. It's a 1946 American Christmas fantasy drama produced and directed by Frank Capra, based on the short story and booklet The Greatest Gift, which Philip Van Doren Stern self-published in 1943, blah, 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 blah. It stars James Stewart as George Bailey, a man who has given up on his personal dreams in order to help others in his community and whose thoughts of suicide on Christmas Eve brings about the intervention of his guardian angel, Clarence Oddbody. And I know we read the synopsis before we watched it, and largely it's not about the guardian angel intervening. It's largely about George Bailey's life. Suicide is not really a central theme in this movie until the end. But what do you guys think? It ended, the credits are rolling.
Tears are rolling.
How's your heart? How's your heart, guys?
Gold.
My heart's
Gold?
coming out of my chest, man.
It's beautiful.
I really like this film, and I think it goes to show you again how last week rolled it number 25. I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
25.
Pretty high up.
Black and white. It's something I've never heard of.
1946.
Never heard of this.
46. It did not feel like 46 at all. Not only is there audio, so it's not like it's a talkie, right? So it is a talkie. Mm-hmm. I'm always amazed, like the film quality, because of the restorative act. Like they've always used 35 millimeter film, and their original capturing, like digitalizing methods or capturing methods, was not great. So when you watch some older films, you're like, this looks like ass. But if they have the original negatives, which they most likely do, or they try to find them, then they can create like a 4K copy. And I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, because it was like fucking, I mean, it's just, you would never be able to tell on quality that it was made in 1946.
The colors are a little wonky, but I'm not like, are the colors even wonky, or is it just like, is that how things are colored back then?
Did you watch a colored one?
Yeah, there were two versions.
Yeah.
You watched Technicolor?
It's strike one.
Really? Okay.
Strike one, my dude. No.
Well, actually, the technology is called Technicolor, I assume, because it's known for wonkier colors. One of the films most known for its Technicolor is The Wizard of Oz, because it starts in black and white, and then it's kind of like, I assume, I didn't see this color version, but I assume it's kind of like fantastical colors in a way, a little
they were
over
duller.
vibrant.
No, they were actually duller.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like they were
okay,
dull.
maybe it wasn't Technicolor.
But I liked it better, because it was, usually things are vibrant, and this was like more muted. Is this like watching dubbed anime?
I'd say so.
I wouldn't call it maybe that.
Why not? I mean,
Because I think there's different ways
very
to do
similar.
it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. But I think in this film, from the reception that I read, that people seem to really enjoy the original black and white. With even, there was some sort of clip with like Jimmy Stewart telling Congress regarding this film. He said, "I tried to look at the colorized version, but I had to switch it off. It made me feel sick." Because
It made me feel sick.
yeah, it made me feel sick. And
Sick.
Sort of dramatized
He's
version.
kind of like, reminds me of like Nicolas Cage.
A little bit, yeah.
Kind of feel sick. Yeah, you guys like.
Makes me feel sick, eh? Because it seemed like this movie, like some other movies we watched before, bombs at the box office, just not impressive, not making a mark, and it falls into this public domain many, many, many years later, where a network can show this movie for free. They don't have to pay anyone. There's no royalties. And it picked up an incredible amount of popularity. And
Do you know what
yeah.
network and when that
I
happened?
had
was?
no idea about any of that. So
Yeah,
it
me
wasn't
either.
successful. And then it fell into free public domain, and now it's a
Yeah.
cult classic.
So it seemed like other networks. I don't know specifically who. They might have been different back then, but they were trying to compete with some other networks during Christmas time when they were showing kind of these big, well produced, expensive Christmas films that were newer. And they're like, well, shit, how are we gonna compete against this? There's this public domain Christmas movie, kind of. And we'll put this on, and it really took off. And I think a lot of people like this movie. I mean, now, but wasn't always.
Had you
the
guys
case.
seen this before?
No, I've never heard any of the lines. I've never heard the name.
I've seen maybe a third.
Okay.
No real remembrance of watching it, though.
As a
Okay.
child, or like recently?
No, in college, actually, one
film
of my
student.
friends, it was like her family loved it and watched it, I think, every year on Christmas.
Yeah, I mean it was wonderful. It was great. I thought it was like A Christmas Carol meets Click, which is one of my favorite movies. And I thought they did an incredible job with the story. You know, he's this guy that just by he's not like a great guy. I don't think he's kind of the super altruistic, unbelievable character, but he's like, yeah, I'll just do the right thing, and he's always giving up on his dreams to what he wants to do. And it just kind of, you see it slip away from him, or his happiness slip away from him over the course of many years. And
Solely
think-
because
yeah.
of self-sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was like, why am I even here? You know, got these stupid fucking kids. Like, I got this shitty house. Like, what did I work all these years for? This sucks. I wanted to travel.
I want to make
And
things.
like, there's like a scene that was like particularly hard is like when the first time the bank is like being defaulting on their money, and everyone comes in, and like all these people who he's like helped with their mortgages don't really care at first. Like, they're like, give us your money, give us the money, and like, I'm out, you know.
In the middle, kind of.
in the
like
middle,
before-
yeah.
yeah.
$324 or whatever.
Yeah, and he wanted it
I'll
all.
take my 200, bro.
Yeah. And you're like, dude, I mean, how shitty does it feel in that case where, like, you know, you feel like you're not appreciated too, you know? And that's your honeymoon money, bro. Like, I mean,
He doesn't know where his wife is. He's like lost track of time. He's just trying to put aside like everything just so he can like help these people get by.
yeah.
'Cause he's just trying to like look out for them and what they need for the next couple of weeks because they've trusted him with their money. So he's trying to do right by them by, you know, giving them what he has so they can survive in the short term.
Yeah, I think I like the realistic part of it where it's always, it's not about, oh, I'm going to dedicate my entire life to this bank and loan and helping people. It's kind of pushing it off just after periods of time. You're like, all right, well, shit, okay, I'll be here for a couple more years and then I'll
Yep.
get the chance. Or shit, okay, I really didn't want to get married. That's kind of messing with my plans, but all right, we finally got married. Finally,
Say
we go on
la
the
vie,
honeymoon.
bro.
Yeah, and it's just this everlasting, continual pushing of things until you realize, oh my god, it's too late. I can't leave now. I can't travel.
With like, but that's like typical kind of like midlife crisis,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're like, what slipped away? I was going to do great things. Just one additional comment about the defaulting piece is also an interesting piece of history after the Great Depression, right? Like, if, you know, when the stock markets like crashed, and you're trying to, there was a time not that long ago when this film was made when you would go to your bank and there's just nothing, right? Like, you just lost everything you own because it wasn't packed. And so like it's just interesting to see like a small nugget of that history. Like they're really like, because you're thinking about like who would go to like Potter for like half of their money on the dollar? Like it's insane. And then you're like, well, it's not insane because it was a real possibility that they could have just lost it all, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing was insured, so it was just poof, gone.
Yeah.
First come, first serve. We will empty out the vault, and if you get here, you might get a couple bucks.
Might
And
get
if
some
you
shit.
get here late,
Might not.
you're out of luck. But he made it $2, and they
Close the door.
Yeah, they fornicated in the vault like rabbits and multiplied.
Like rabbit. Yeah, I thought some of the writing was pretty good too. I mean, I was laughing, I was crying, I was all over the place because it start like the first half. I actually watched it in 2 parts because this week's been a little wonky, but
And he still enjoyed it.
I did. I was like, this is good. I was pleasantly surprised after the first half, and I was like, it's better than my expectations. And then I thought the last half really delivered an impactful message, and it was sweet because I could see how maybe like if you turn this into some cheesy Hallmark film, like he's kind of contemplating suicide, and then maybe the angel would come in and things would be like resolved like pretty quickly, like, oh, you need to see your life this way, and I don't know, a lot more cheesy, but it just felt real. I mean, they went through everybody's life and how he affected them and if he wasn't there, and I thought it was very truthful.
Yeah, even just the angel jumping into the water first. You know, that's like a creative little twist, you know? Like usually it's like, you know, comes up as a friend, puts the arm on the shoulder. You've got more to live for, buddy. You got more to live for. But the angel's just like, swan dive.
Yeah.
Jumped right in there.
Yeah.
Because Clarence knew what was required, you know?
What strings to pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun that during that whole thing, like I think I realize he's kind of just drunk, like seeing all this too. I think.
Oh yeah, he's hammered.
Well,
Dude,
maybe
I thought he would. I mean, he must be a good swimmer because if you're hammered and you dive into freezing water to save someone, I think I'd die. I think I'd drown.
Clarence probably gave him a little bit, you know, angel
Angel
energy.
dust.
Yeah, angel dust. I did want to say it.
Yeah, maybe if it was the rules of the universe, because kind of things disappeared, maybe he became undrunk when he was witnessing the change of events. But that still means if he went back to real life, he'd be drunk. But
I think
he was too happy to. You think he was
I still think he was drunk.
in the kind of flashbacks or
Really?
altered universe?
Yeah, I think he was drunk the whole time. Like he was sobering up as it went.
I don't know because I thought, you know, the fact that his like the blood disappeared.
Oh,
You know, like I thought like he's.
His physical
I don't know. He didn't. But there was a comment, and I'd have to go back. I don't remember. He's like, "What did Martini put in those drinks?" Like, and I don't know if that was before or after Clarence did like the flip.
Yeah,
Be
maybe
something
you're
to
right.
look-
Because like
look
the
at,
blood
though.
I
disappearing.
think it might have been before. Because he's saying, like, I'm an angel. I'm here to help you. Because he hasn't given
Yeah.
him that idea yet of, like, oh, what if I wish I was never born. I don't know how
Or
he
like
said
I'm
it.
worth more dead than alive. That's what
Yeah.
he's-
Because that was
so-
an interesting spin on it, too. You thought, I mean, I didn't know. We mentioned the suicide part. And I thought, oh, he's just going to be sad, like, with his life and kill himself. But he's actually, like, just the, like,
it plays
the only way out.
It's like what's the word? Like it adds up too because like that's a George Bailey thing to do, like to kill himself for the 15 grand so you know the company stays afloat.
right.
Bank stays afloat, yeah, which is like it's just on character for him.
Yeah.
Dude, when Uncle Harry lost the 8 grand,
Uncle
I was
Billy?
like, Uncle Billy, I was getting real life anxiety. I'm like,
You didn't think that
Lost
squirrel was going to
8,000.
help him find it?
Oh man, I was.
That was an alarming scene. Yeah, the squirrel crawls on his arm. I have no idea the authenticity, but someone said like in one edit, the squirrel actually like takes the money. Like Potter doesn't take it, like the squirrel takes it, and that's why they had a squirrel in a later scene when he crawls up on his arm. But
I don't know if I'd like that better. Or
I don't think
worse.
so. Yeah, I like the
I
original.
I thought like the Potter's sidekick, like I thought at some point he was gonna not his the guy who was pushing him around like on a wheelchair. I thought at some point he was gonna like. I mean, how you have to be just as shitty as Potter to like keep your mouth shut when you have someone like breaking down, being like, "We lost the $8,000,000," you know, like, or I'm gonna be forced to shut down. Like I'm worth more dead than alive, and then they're both just sitting there like horrible people.
Yeah, just no redeeming qualities. Just super villain.
I mean,
Though-
they don't have the money. I mean,
The one, what do you mean they do?
the underlings.
But they know where the
No,
money
like
is.
he's like
Do they know Potter took the $8,000?
yeah. The guy who's pushing him around on the wheelchair, yeah, because then he's like, "Wait, put me back out, remember?" And then he looks back out, and he was looking to see that Uncle Billy was like frantic with the money.
I mean, I know they looked again. I don't know if he was aware of it. It's just kind of in his newspaper or whatever that package was.
He like opened it, and then he was like rifling through the cash.
I'd be pretty confident that the guy knew.
that they knew. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't paying
It
attention.
wasn't like outright said, but like,
It seems like
It'd
you
be-
had to have known.
yeah, you know everything that Potter's
You're the wheelchair
got his
pusher.
little claws wrapped around.
Pottersville.
One redeeming thing about Quinn just said it. One redeeming thing about Potter was Pottersville looked lit, bro. like I was like, damn, dude, Pottersville, what's up? Look at all these clothes. Like it looks lively. Like I want to live in Pottersville, man. Let's go.
Turned it into Las Vegas, man. It's
He
everything.
really did. Dime a dance.
I wonder if it was like was it like a reference of a city or Las Vegas or something?
It's
Because
just-
Yeah,
I was
it's
just
like
like,
gross entertainment. It's
Yeah.
like
but it wasn't that great. I mean, maybe our
In the 40s?
world has gone. It's like dancing, and like you're like okay, and like music and drinks. Is that all debauchery? Is that all sin?
would you want to live in the middle of those if you had a family?
Well,
I mean, it's kind of a trick question because if you're saying it's, I mean, I think it
just
just
thought it
brings
lit,
a lot
bro.
of unruly. I mean, you get drunk people. There's a place for it. Maybe doesn't belong in. Was it Bedford
false.
Bedford Falls? It's Bedford Falls. Merry Christmas. But yeah,
Very-
I mean, as a mid-20-year-old, yeah, that place looks great. Like,
Shout
Yeah,
out
it's
to
great for a
old
weekend.
maid Mary. Just looking, that's the just
I
saddest.
don't think you
image
can
of
say
a
that
woman.
anymore.
I know she looked fine. She was like, she looks cute. Like
Yeah.
she would probably get asked like if she worked at the library. I don't know if anyone goes to the library now, but like that when
Like a
life's
coffee
not
shop.
over,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be ashamed to be seen because you're
How old was she? Like
28.
probably like 35. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Right.
she was
Wasn't she
28,
Wasn't it?
old maid, and he's like, Grant's like, no, you can't see her.
Clarence.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
too
think
much.
I haven't heard those words in a while. Like old maid, spinster. It's weird. I looked up the words and some article popped up with actress Emma Watson talking about being a single 30-year-old woman, and instead of calling herself single, she uses the word self-partnered. Okay.
Bio break.
Why did you share that with us? Can
Because
you
I was trying to figure out
rewind that?
if there's any
Can you
difference between
unshare
old
that
maid and
fact?
spinster. No, I can't go back in time.
Post production.
Old maid.
So back to the movie. Yes, I thought it was beautiful. You know, why Tom Sawyer? Any ideas there? Or is that just random? You know, why
It
did
can't be random.
well?
I didn't
so
think
like,
about
what do
it
you?
though.
That's the book that Clarence left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's like a super famous quote from Mark Twain.
What was the quote?
Oh,
It
is
was
the
like it's like the friends are the wealth.
Oh, you'll never be poor if you're rich in
Yeah.
friendship or something like that.
I think
Okay.
that's a really famous Mark Twain quote.
Okay, so that all makes sense then.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
so.
my first impression was it was something about like adventuring a child or like going on adventure. Doesn't Mark Twain or Tom Sawyer
And Huckleberry
go
Finn.
on
Oh, that's
adventures
true.
on like a raft and shit?
Mhm.
So-
And they get into all sorts of trouble and then find out it's better at home.
Oh,
think
really?
that's- I think so, yeah. And he really finds out that he doesn't like Huckleberry Finn at all. He's kind of an asshole.
Is that his friend?
Huckleberry.
I think the story is called The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. And I think it.
No, I think there's the Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and then there's a different book called Huckleberry Finn,
Maybe I am just.
which is more about. I think Huckleberry Finn is more about just Huckleberry Finn and his like the black dude that he runs away with. Right?
Adventure is a theme across many of these, so maybe I am just blending them all.
No man is a failure who has friends,
Yeah.
which comes from
Whose
the
quote is that?
movie.
Mark Twain also looks like Einstein.
Not
I think there's something
Mark
about
Twain.
being.
Okay.
I think
So
there's something
remember
about
George.
being crazy haired and whatever, looking like that just makes you famous forever.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that ending was spectacular. There was a lot going on. I think they pulled it off well.
If you had to shout out any side character, you know, who pulled at the heartstrings the most that was dropping cash in front of him?
That's good. I mean, obviously, I think the top person is the brother Harry. You know, he's got doing the toast. He's like, to my brother George, you know, the richest man in town. That one's great. I liked the actual old black maid who had the hilarious line. She's like, I've been saving this money for a divorce if I ever get married. She was great.
Anna or something.
I liked Gower, the pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his story was strong. It's kind of more of a full circle too, because that's one of the first people you see.
Shocked he was still alive.
Yeah,
He
him
was a
and
little
Potter
rickety.
too. Like 30
They were
years are
rickety
going
from the
by,
get go.
and they're still alive.
I mean, if you're the druggist, you know, you just keeping yourself alive.
It's true. I don't think I liked Violet, or maybe I didn't really see her story that well.
Oh yeah.
Like, by him being around, she didn't go to New York, because if she went to New York, then she would have gotten in trouble with the police. Mary probably didn't like George hanging around Violet.
I was wiping lipstick off.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Do you have a favorite or a least favorite?
Honestly, just shout out to Mary, just the homemaker. She knew something was up and went and rallied the troops to protect her man. Roasting those chickens over the open fire on their honeymoon after George spent all that money. With the record player, you know, being the rotisserie. That was just, you know, that's the most romantic evening you could have. Shout out.
Yeah, they were a power couple. He was always working at the office, and she was redoing the drafty house and
Your
having
barn.
kids.
Yep.
and she was like doing like the ward stuff, and yeah, the one when they first like I don't know, got together.
In her house.
That was like the weirdest makeout session. They like it's just weird. They're
All the
like
kisses
shoving
were weird.
necks,
Passionate.
but they're not like kissing.
Open mouth.
No, but they're not even kissing lips. They're like rubbing cheeks and like
Like a
kind
dog.
of kissing their neck, and like it's interesting. Maybe
Primal.
It's maybe lip to lip action is not suitable for the big screens back then.
Maybe.
Maybe it's too raunchy.
Do you think this was like a, I don't know, like came out after
Yes.
World War II, came out like,
Yes
I don't know.
to all your questions. I don't know.
yep, it's just gonna be a uplifting countries in a place of like, actually it's probably booming, and they're just showing that life is worth. I don't know. I just feel like it's
Life
kind of
is-
weird. But if it's based
I-
on a short story written during World War II, so I guess it's a little different. It's not after.
I thought it was a little anti-suicide. Like it almost felt like a little like anti-suicide film.
Had some
Like
God is great messaging.
yeah, a little bit like
Pray hard for him.
Yeah.
You know,
we
I
were
also
just,
said yeah. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna mention Mary again. I liked them. I like that scene where they were getting, together for the first time, because I think it kind of complemented the travel aspirations. Like, he wasn't interested in a woman. Like, it's great, but it's gonna get in the way of things. I forgot it. He had some sort of line where like, I wanted to do what I want to do or something. And I think by having a relationship, it really pulls you down a notch.
But also, he was taking a stroll past her house and like messing with her gate.
And
or
years
whatever.
ago, he said he'd lasso down the moon for her,
Yeah, that was so cute when she had the sign too, and she put it up.
and she painted it.
Yeah,
What is this?
yeah, grumpy.
He was like when he was grumpy, he was
He was a dick, man.
horrible.
He smashed all his kids' shit. Yeah, they don't really. I'm trying to think of recent movies, but I thought it was a good portrayal of just, you just come home from work or something, you're just pissed and you're upset, you're angry, you get drunk at the bar. I don't know. It's not sometimes not as simple. I feel like in recent things, people are very like make it more complex than it needs to be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you point that out too. It's like I think a reason why this film is so effective is because it's very human. Like the characters are very realistic. You have Mr. What's his name? Gower. He lost his wife and he was an alcoholic, right? You don't see that portrayed that often. If you do, I think it's over dramatized and they're like the main character or something like in a film. This is like he almost yeah, exactly, right? And then this guy, he almost kills someone. Then he gets sober, right? Like, he had the realization. He's like, I can't kill like a kid. I almost killed a kid. And then he was sober and turned his life around. And there's like a lot of small things like that where it's just realistic, and there's. I think the human quality of things is often lost. I feel like is not shown that often in Hollywood films, and I think a reason why, like, I would almost attribute some of the qualities that we saw in this film to the Before Sunset or Sunrise trilogy, where it's just everyone's flawed, to a degree. People make mistakes. People fuck up, and you know, there's no ultimatums, or there shouldn't be an ultimatum because of that.
And in the message at the end is like, instead of like running away from it, it's like embracing the community and like asking for help too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you help others, it's okay to ask for help yourself. And it's kind of nice.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Mr. Gower's got your back. You got his back. You didn't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He remembers. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe this was such a miss. I mean, the studio closed down after this film was made. I mean, it was director Frank Capra basically stopped making films.
And I don't think, like, Donna Reed, who played Mary, I don't really think she was in much after this.
She had great hair the whole time. The kids did too. Just like cool little, like, what was the little girl's name who had the fever? Like Zaza or something? Zuzu. It's probably Susan. Her hair was so cute when she was in bed. I don't know. I don't even know what was going on with her hair, but it was just cute.
Yeah.
It's like a ring on top of it. It was just funky.
Let her flower drink some water.
Mm-hmm. Needs a drink.
Needs a drink.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of things. What did I not like? I don't know, man. It was an enjoyable watch.
Did you like the way he talked? He'd be like, "Well, hello,
Hello, hot dog." Yeehaw.
Hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
It was hee-haw.
Sorry.
Come on, subtitles, bro.
I did have them on.
I thought in a way this was kind of like the original Back to the Future in a way, some aspects, you know.
It definitely is paralleled by, well, it's not like it's the earliest we've seen, you know, but it's not a unique.
Yeah, it feels familiar. I mean, like a sort of look back at life.
Yeah,
Second
isn't that
chance.
what happened in like
It's the
another
butterfly
Christmas
effect.
movie?
Well, Christmas Carol is like the opposite. It's basically like if you had Potter as the main character, and the ghost
I've
of
never
Christmas
seen the
past,
Christmas
present.
Carol. Are you spoiling it right now?
You've never seen? I mean, do you know what the Christmas Carol is about?
I know Scrooge. That's all I know.
Scrooge, yeah, with
You can
Charles
spoil
Dickens.
It. It's alright.
There's
I think
no.
it's-
I mean, it's 100 years old or something.
Wait, isn't what does he say? Like hum or something?
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. Yeah,
Bah ha ha.
I said hum.
No, that's the Brazilians. Ja, ja, ja.
Bah humbug.
No, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future come visit him, and eventually, he sees the errors of his ways, and then at the end, he's kind of like George, where he's like super ecstatic, and he's buying buys because the one family, the Cratchit family, they're like poor and they can't afford a Christmas dinner, and at the end he buys them a big turkey or something.
Are you as like taken away, Pat, that Quinn knows so much about A Christmas Carol? I'm like, this is not something I expect.
I feel like we had to read
Quinn's
it in
like,
his high school.
Quinn's like, yeah, but it's fucking high school, bro. You're like reciting the whole. It must have like really hit a note with you.
Cratchit. Well, it was.
And
seemed
you've
very
never
familiar.
seen this movie. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Quinn, do you relate
It's Charles Dickens.
to
I don't know.
McScrooge or whatever his name is? Scrooge McHumbug?
I think I relate to all these characters where,
The
you're-
Grinch?
Well, the Grinch. What's the
What are
Grinch's
you
main
implying
motive?
here, Grant?
No, I'm just.
I'm not the Grinch. What is the
Just
Grinch's
like-
motive, though?
He wants to kill
He
Christmas.
wants to ruin Christmas.
Okay, that's a little
I'm
far.
the Grinch.
I don't like the characters that are evil for evil's sake, but I think
Does the Grinch come around?
Yeah, his
Yeah,
heart turns
his
to
heart.
gold or whatever.
it becomes
The
too
Grinch
big.
too?
Yeah, the Grinch does.
Yeah, the end.
Wow.
The Grinch.
It's a
saves
Christmas movie, Grant.
Yeah, I
You
did.
can't-
See, this movie was not really a Christmas movie either.
It is about gratitude. So if you don't get any presents, you can still appreciate your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of in the same vein as Die Hard,
This-
where people say, "Oh," I mean Die Hard's the biggest stretch, where it's the drama plot just happening on Christmas.
I was thinking more like thematically, like gratitude, friendship, family. It's a good movie for like the holiday season when you're like among loved ones, so you can kind of look at what you have and like
Yeah.
be grateful. Die Hard
I don't have it too
happens
bad.
on Christmas. Yeah.
A Thanksgiving movie.
What about National
Give
Lampoon?
thanks.
We saw that, Quinn. How does this compare to National Lampoon?
Which one?
The Christmas one.
National Lampoon Christmas Turkey.
Christmas Vacation?
Yeah. Remember we saw it?
Yeah, I'm thinking. No, I have a clip. I know.
Didn't they have like too many Christmas lights and then they plugged it in and like
I don't think we're old enough
blew up
for,
or
for
something.
Christmas Vacation. You know, I think part of that is just the hilariousness of, you know, hosting and like dealing with like crazy family members. And I remember I didn't like it that much, and then my mom yelled at me and she said, "What the hell is wrong with you guys? I listened to your Christmas Vacation review."
Oh, because we haven't experienced it, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, to her and my dad, it's like gospel. I mean, it's like, you know, that's a classic, and we kind of were a bit more dismissive of it. A lot.
A bit.
A lot of
Worst
dismissing
movie I've ever
what's
seen.
going on. So I like this one a lot more.
I had a few people tell me they watched The Power of the Dog. It was like a popular one. I had like people, like family members and friends were like, "Oh, I listened to Power of the Dog."
Did they?
So
Did they agree with our criticisms?
Power of the Doggo. Which Quinn, why you should have just named it Power of the Doggo in on our podcast feed.
I'll go in and change it.
It's too late now.
All
It's not too
our listeners already listen. So I like this one a lot more. Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I didn't like that one at all.
You're gonna get roasted. You gotta be careful.
Dude, it doesn't even matter like the topic. It's like
Grant's
the
like-
acting is so cheesy and just bad. You're like, this is stupid. It's bad writing, bad.
Tammy's coming for you.
Yeah,
man. I'm just-
come at
next
me.
time,
This is Mikhail.
next time you see her, she's
You're
gonna
in
have
for an
words with you.
earful.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But I'm surprised. Maybe this movie just doesn't have a lot of quotes. You know, the Christmas Vacation, I think, has some pretty popular quotes that you've probably heard, even if you haven't seen
Like
the
what?
movie.
I've never seen it. Let's see. I'm your guinea pig. Let's go.
Let's hear one.
I can look them up. I mean, because you would hear them.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Even though they're just so popular and they have so many, and you just can't
And
remember
like you
one
just
off the top of your
remember
head.
them too.
Yeah. But let's see.
All right, I'm pulling it up now. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you worry. Oh God,
I've
this
never
one's got
heard of this
45.
movie before right now, by the way, too. So maybe my family just wasn't big into Christmas movies. I've also never seen Christmas Carol.
I don't recognize any of this.
They're
I
just
like
so
the number one is "Merry Christmas." Shitter was full from Cousin Eddie. But maybe this website sucks. Let's try.
Yeah, it's the
I also
website's
just-
problem.
Oh my god, what's the actor's name?
Grant's cash
Chase?
just got wet
Dude.
by itself. It's the website's
The
problem.
Chase. What's his name? Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase.
Wait, I hate this guy. Look at this. I can't. I just do not like that guy.
I'm missing something. He looked just like
I
a
don't know.
guy.
I don't know. I think
Jelly-
he's like so cheesy over the top.
Quinn's
you know?
got one. Quinn's got one.
Like, have
Let's
you ever
see.
heard anyone talk about like getting a Jelly of the Month club membership?
Not once in my age.
Jelly of the month.
Jelly of the Month.
Grant's never heard, but either he's seen the
It's
movie.
like what? That
Jelly
was
of the
when
month.
he was talking to his boss the whole time, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get out like Christmas bonuses," and he was so excited because he's like, I already put the down payment on the pool, and all the kids were excited, and then the Christmas bonus came, and he opened it, and it was a Jelly of the Month club membership.
So we just
So they-
got like peach jam, and then next
They
month
send
it's
you
like
a new jelly every month. He's like, "What? though.
That's a nice gift, though, honestly. Like, if you weren't told it, you're getting a gift.
Well, they were told they were getting a gift.
Just in hindsight. Like,
In hindsight,
you could have
yeah.
redone a gift and, like, done something different, you know? Like, if the boss
Yeah.
reflected, you know, spontaneous gift of Joey of the...
All right, so maybe it's not.
I forgot
quotes,
how,
but
you know,
it's scenarios.
Yeah,
he's on the
you
roof.
know,
He's got all the lights, dinner
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah, I'm sorry for hating again. You know, I just think it's not my type of movie. It's cheesy, but it's lighthearted. Anyways,
You're a homeowner
we're
now,
not,
Grant. So
We're not even.
Wait,
This is
what are
not
we
even the
talking
movie we're
about?
talking about this week.
I think
It's
we
a
ran out of
Wonderful
things
Life.
to say. It was just wonderful, you know? We
Life.
all enjoyed it. It was just...
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, I did.
Wonderful.
I mean, it was great. It was. I think I had one note about like some scenes were a bit like fast. Like it seemed like the pacing seemed a little off in the beginning, but
The beginning just seemed a little... It took me a little bit to get on the ride.
yeah. I liked all the characters. I liked the message. I was emotional. I haven't been emotional for a movie in a long time. It's not even sadness. That ending, man, that hit me. I don't think I've.
I don't know. Yeah. It's
It was the whole
interesting.
time.
It was good.
All right, boys.
Well,
Hey,
Is it?
Is it? Is it? Is it about that time? The GeneQ patented review where we decide whether the true rating of It's a Wonderful Life is over or under the IMDb rating. And oh my God, we got 444,000 votes, and we're sitting at an 8.6. 8.6. I mean, you look at that
wow.
distribution. You know, usually a lot of things we see are there's a lot of 8.7s are the majority, but this is top down. You know, tons of 10s, tons. Of course, there's some.
Are there ones?
There are one, yeah,
Those are Russian trolls, so it's fine.
yeah, Russian farm.
I'm going over. Bold. It's not IMDb scale. It's Patrick's scale. And Patrick would have this at least to like a 9.3.
I'm gonna go over as well.
Woo!
I thought it was great. I've been thinking about it ever since I watched it. And again, you know, sometimes we watch some of these older movies, and you go, ugh, that was tough to get through, but this was a treat.
Was no treasure of the Sierra Madre.
You're like,
See? Yeah. You think it was better than that?
I like that one. I think
Yeah,
I said
you
over
really
that
like that
one
one.
too.
Yeah.
But
This
just
is-
for you guys.
Six is up there, you know. I'll go over.
oh,
Yeah, he's such a fraud. He's pulling back. He's pretending like. I'll
I
go.
thought, you know, it's good. It's good. Just really well done. Great messaging, and I don't know. It's like sweet. I feel like I could watch it. It's almost like calming in a way. I feel like old movies like are kind of like calming in a nice way. You know, it's like not overwhelming. You're just kind of like you're almost like reading a book. You know, it's like cozy. It's like
I
a
love
cozy
books.
watching it, right?
except that part that gave you physical anxiety after losing the money.
I had physical
Who has
anxiety.
$8,000 in their wallet in 1947? That just
I mean, they don't have. What else are you gonna put it on? Like a check?
your Brinks truck.
Oh,
Take the liability out of your personal self and give it to a courier.
oh yeah, yeah.
They deserve to.
With the squirrels.
They were doomed. They
They're
were
a
right.
small business.
Potter was right. They run a bad business. That from an operation perspective, he should not be doing that.
Yeah, if he was so forgetful too. I'm like, why would you give it to him? Anyways,
care
that
about
did
your
give me
book.
so anxiety, but
Guys, do you think we are just? You think we are more likely to say like over from like a genuine movie after watching all those like Oscar fake movies too? I know we had War Games in the mix, but like like feeling like
The
manipulated
juxtaposition
and
between woke
Yeah, like-
movies and just a simple, nice movie.
Dude, that's why,
authentic
like,
human experience.
I don't think so. I think if this was an under, we would have gone under. Yeah, I mean, it's why we still haven't updated our list on GeneQreview.com, is because the fluctuations more often than not are not good movies replacing. It's new movies getting
Recency
hot for a
bias.
second. Yeah, recency bias. And it's I think
Yeah,
I don't know. It's we talked about like one theme that is just kind of disappointing to me is I think like the lack of new content, like create, like instead of remakes. And like right now it's like, oh, you got all these algorithms, I'm sure, that are running and they're figuring out like, oh, this should be successful, like we're not going to lose money on this, like it looks like, you know, it checks all these boxes and this many people liked the first one and blah blah, and there's this many movies in the series, and it's like I'm sure they're running all this. Yeah, the margin's good,
Iron Man.
but also like what am I mean, this was based off of a short story, so it is,
But also, I mean,
an
the
adaptation.
algorithms wouldn't have worked for this one. Unsuccessful. Just a flop.
The focus
Yeah.
groups thought that he should have just actually died.
They wanted They wanted to live in Pottersville.
Did you guys know?
Yeah.
Shout out to IMDb. IMDb is owned by Amazon. Did you guys know that?
I don't think I knew that.
I clicked on IMDb Pro at the top just for fun.
take it to Amazon Prime or something.
You still have to pay, but like if you just click on it, it's like log in with your Amazon account. And I was like, Jeff, you gotta get your dirty little paws
Jeffrey.
out all these real businesses. You know, I want my what was it? Brick and lender, build
Brick
and
and mortar?
lender?
Brick and mortar.
No,
Mom
what
and
was
pop.
the company that George
Bank
owned?
and loan?
Yeah, I want my bank and loans to stand on their own feet.
Not
you know?
Potter.
Yeah, Potter's taking over.
Yeah. Just because I forgot to talk about it last week, and I was just thinking about you, and you talked about things that skewed and like original movies and blah blah blah, and this one wasn't a hit in the box office. It got me thinking. I usually go pretty all out during the Cleveland International Film Festival, and I didn't this year because this is the first time it was in person. They switched from Tower City to Playhouse Square, blah blah blah. But I did spend a day. I took a day off and I spent a day at the film fest. I watched 3 films, and I disliked all of them. Not good.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Usually when
Power
I
of
was
Dog
like,
style?
no, Power of the Dog is better than these.
Oh, okay.
They were like, I don't know. Maybe not. They're okay. It was like a documentary, which was like it could have been 20 minutes long. It was an hour and a half. It was like a kid movie, which was like fantastical, but like, And the last one had the most, I don't know, potential.
Did you not make it into any of them? Like, were any like? I remember when we
Oh
went.
no, it was not. Yeah, right. So like, I tried to tell my housemate Casey. I was like, he was going on the last Saturday. I was like, dude, I mean, good luck, because when we went, it's like insane. I don't know if
Very
it's because
crowded.
Playhouse Square or whatever. Not crowded at all.
Yeah.
He said it was not crowded at all on the last Saturday of the film fest. I'm like, what the fuck? Normally it's insane.
Yeah, you have to like
Did-
get to the line early so that you could make. They only have so many.
You can even
seats.
get a ticket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a few factors. I think like new location, so people are like testing it out. People aren't buying passes to
Yeah.
see how it works, and then the theaters themselves are stages, so there's a lot more seating than a movie theater.
Did he watch the same films as you?
No, they don't play. Like we went on different days.
So, different days, different. Did your parents go the day you went?
Yeah, I went with my mom because she's been going and taking me as a kid.
Did she share a similar opinion?
They were all. Yeah, she was her. So like they give you little ratings, 1 through 4, like 1 star to 4 stars, for each movie you watch, and she gave them all like goods, so 3 out of 4s, and she said she gave that because we didn't have like that was like the only day we went, but like if we saw a good movie, then the other 2 following would have been 2-star. You know what I'm saying? I gave them. I gave a 3 and then I gave 2 2s. Yeah, there's nothing. We didn't watch a good one. So
You don't know, like, are there good ones? Is this the best they got? I guess it's a good. This one.
Yeah. Normally there's ones that are really good, and Casey said the one he saw was really good on Saturday. So
I still remember the one Weeper or whatever. That trip
Which
was
one?
good with the the
said
frogs
Weeper?
in the house. Like the people who were living in the house, the one that was filmed in Cleveland, and they were like living in the house above.
oh,
Like living
like,
in the
weren't
attic.
they kids or
No,
like they were
like
teens?
18, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like fucking with this family, and like,
Yeah.
and then it was a dramatic ride, but like you didn't realize that was happening until like midway through the movie.
Yeah.
The perspective just switched, and I was like, this makes a lot more sense now. They're not going crazy.
Oh yeah, because it's almost like a
It's
horror.
like the cop is trying to investigate the murder, and shit's going wrong in his house life, and you're like, what's going on here?
What's the name of this?
Frogger maybe?
Maybe it's Frogger. Something with frogs.
There's one film that I saw still has stuck. It's like the #1 film that stuck with me from the film fest, and I
That's what it's
would
called.
watch it again. Okay, I see you. I have to re-look up the name. I don't know this name off the top of my head, but it was literally like I thought it was just as well made as like Requiem for a Dream. It was just international, and it was just as fucking dark as Requiem for a Dream. Like I'm reaching the point where I probably would watch it again. Because like the dread and the sadness is worn off, but it was just about. I mean, it's about like a girl that gets addicted to drugs, you know, and it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad.
Damn.
I would recommend though watching. I'll find that. That's my
Grant
homework.
will find the name of the movie.
The one I was referencing, I See You, 2019, premiered at South by Southwest. Grant and I watched it at the 2019 Cleveland International Film Festival.
Good
Would recommend it.
Chef's kiss.
All right, it's a wonderful life. I'm glad we all like this one. I was interested in hearing your guys' opinion because I watched it and I was like, I really enjoyed that, but I could totally see maybe you guys not liking it
Yeah,
or
that's
just
really
thinking it was
interesting.
average. But
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't want to hear you. I was not excited to hear your opinion at all.
I was thinking about doing a solo podcast and just lying to you.
Monologuing.
No, it's not built for that. All right, what are we doing next week, Grant?
Next week, what are we doing next
Oh,
week?
no.
Oh my God, we are doing Dazed and Confused. So
Whoa, what's that?
today is 420, and we kind of had a little debate about what we're gonna do next week, and we just rolled. So we thought let's get the themes back going on. You know, we got out of our little Oscar rut there, which the best time of the year is Oscar seasons. Shout out to our sponsors, Will Smith.
Shut your ass up.
But so we wanted to, do a stoner film, Dazed and Confused. This is one that, I mean, you hear it, Dazed and Confused. Oh yeah, that's a famous
something you heard
film.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that film? Well, what is that film? It's a 1993 American coming-of-age film written and directed by Richard Linklater. It features an ensemble cast of actors who would later become stars: Jason London, Ben Affleck, Mila Jovovich.
Yep.
Yep. Cole Hauser, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
It's a cult film. I don't have a good synopsis on here.
Yeah, it's a
it.
film with some
Stoner
people in it.
comedy.
Yes.
The coming-of-age film follows the mayhem of group of rowdy teenagers. Follows the mayhem of group of rowdy teenagers in Austin. So
We could-
a group of rowdy teenagers.
Yes, they were dazed and confused. All right.
I'm dazed
In-
and confused.
In
listening
Austin,
to
Texas, which is where Matthew McConaughey was born and raised, celebrating the last day of high school in 1976. The graduating class heads for a popular pool hall and joins an impromptu keg party.
Oh yeah.
However, the star football player Randall Pink Floyd has promised to focus on the
Randall
championship
Pink
game.
Floyd?
Randall Pink, they call him Pink Floyd, has promised to focus on the championship game and abstain from partying. Meanwhile, the incoming freshmen try to avoid being hazed by the seniors, most notably the sadistic bully Fred O'Banion, played by Ben Affleck.
All right. I'm a little confused.
That was as
you dazed
long
too?
as the movie
Not
itself.
yet. Not yet. I'll get dazed a little later. You know.
For the film, yeah.
So it was either Dazed and Confused or Joseph in the Coat of Many Colors, and we went
Or Harold and
with
Kumar.
Oh, Joseph.
the Potterville of the two choices. We left whatever
George
Falls
Bailey.
place. Yeah,
Oh,
George
Bedford
Bailey
Falls.
doesn't exist, so we went into the world of Isis with Dazed and Confused.
I dig it. All right. Dazed and confused.
Didn't confused. Well, anything else on Dazed and Confused or It's a
Fused
Wonderful
and
Life?
dazed. Fused and,
Fused and
fused and aged.
No.
All right, thank you everyone. Thank you all of our viewers for watching us live. We're still having troubles with the
Glitch.
view count there, and it says 0. But thank you all for listening. I know you're taking time out of your Wednesday evening to watch us live, which we really appreciate. And all of our listeners, thank you for listening or watching later. You know, those people exist too. I'm sure of it. I've been told. It has to be.
What if we
dozens of
switched? What if we switched to like a morning show? You know, like Quinn wakes
Oh,
up at
like
6
a-
a.m.
yeah.
We
Okay.
do like a 9 a.m. You know, like the
On people's
work-
commutes.
yeah.
I just joined. Well, Quinn's doesn't live in Cleveland, but I just joined a co-working space, and they have a room that's like a podcast room, and it's like has the mics coming down. And it looks like all legit. I like want to check it out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That
we
is
could
pretty
do like a if Quinn's in town, maybe we could do a
trifecta.
Buy a
session.
ticket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways, thank you all for listening. We'll see you guys next week with Dazed and Confused. In the meantime, you can follow our social media. You can DM us. You can comment on our post. We have a Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is @GQ Review, and you also can email us. You can email us about your favorite stoner movie, maybe your favorite strain of weed, maybe your favorite Christmas movie. All of them. We accept all of those. All you have to do is email us, feedback@gqreview.com. See you guys next week with Dazed and Confused.
Peace.
Peace.